Steven, I want to say you're kind of like the mastermind behind this whole Mount Davis shenanigans,
Oh,
right? Like,
yeah. I
what?
mean, I don't want to take all the credit. I mean, Gabriel Colin, Summer Cell Doc. He's been the last few things. Oak Moma. Like, he's, he deserves, at least bare minimum 50% of the credit. So just want to give him a shout out. But yeah, I mean,
And
uh,
can you explain like what it is exactly, like what your aim is, like how it was conceived, and just kind of where you're at with everything right now?
well, so I've been tracking the tickets for the game, and debate the entire season. Even early on, was like, hey, they're going to open up Mount Davis for the last game. These tickets are selling fast. We get to the point where there's, or at least so they said, there are only so many seats left. And so the keeping the pressure on. Are they going to open Mount Davis? And then you've got the whole thing that happened with the leaked 2,750 tickets held back, and then it was like the next day they said, oh yeah, we're sold out, and then in the fine print, additional seats may become available, and so we were all kind of waiting. Okay, are they opening up Mount Davis or not? And then I think it was the day after. Susan Slusser put out the Chronicle article. They're not going to open it,
Yeah.
and we're like, okay, well, why not? And we'd already gotten a few pictures of like some stuff that was being stored on Mount Davis. Nothing crazy, like some boxes, some crates, like a few extra garbage cans. Nothing crazy. And so we knew they were going to have to clean it up to some degree. And you know, me and Gabe were kind of talking in a group chat, and I had kind of already had the idea in my head. And then he said, "Hey, like, why don't we, do something to where it's like, we can volunteer to clean it up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds awesome."
Mhm.
So we got a list. The list is about, I think as of right now, we're at 58 people. I got some good names on there. Willing to clean up Mount Davis for the last game. Of course, we know they're going to say stuff about insurance and it being a liability and whatnot, but we're prepared to sign release the liability waivers and all that. Uh, we went forward with it. I emailed 295 A's employees, just, went off the staff directory. 38 of them bounced back, but of the other 257, zero responses so far.
I'm sure they got
And
a memo saying, "Do not reply, do not reply."
definitely, but I mean, we expected that to
Yeah,
happen, and you know, like Brian, his whole thing, he's been saying like, it's a lot of it's too, it's about generating that media pressure, and him and Gabe have done a great job. We got four articles out about it now. It was on the 11 o'clock news, NBC Bay Area, so it's definitely generated some pressure, and for what it's worth, although things still aren't looking good for opening it up. On Monday, September 2nd, they had like a conference call type thing where they discussed the possibility of opening it up, and also that same night, they had some employees up there, looking around, seeing how things were. There had been reportedly a concern about standing water in the concessions area. However, the report came back good, that things were looking in good shape in terms of both the restrooms and the concessions. There was they said there might be a concern about the seats. I don't really know what they meant by that, other than maybe there's a few cobwebs, but just hose it down. It'll be fine. But most of the journalists that were reaching out about the whole situation, the A's didn't even respond to them. The only time they did respond was to Mercury News, and they were saying, we are committed to. I forget what they said exactly. The
Fan
The
experience.
fan
best
experience. There
fan
you go, and
the
which
best
bunch
fan,
of
the best
yeah.
Outstanding fan
experience for our fans.
experience.
Yeah.
It's
So I
what
mean,
their number one commitment is. That's what they're always.
yeah. So
That's their North Star is the fan experience.
yeah, because we know they've
Duh.
been so great at that. Real trendsetters there.
Come on.
So yeah, I mean, it's not looking likely, but we've drummed up some negative PR at least. I mean, we're giving it our best shot. There's not really too much else we can do. I mean, as I mentioned before the show, they have to have that area cleared out by November 1st, anyways, as per the release. So why not clear it out now? Additionally, it's like they're saying, oh, we don't have the staffing, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they've already hired 147 temps, just from what I've heard for that last game. So hire like 10 more, and bam, you've got it open. As we said in our letter that we sent to them, we don't need concessions. A's fans are already used to the concession stands being closed. I mean, part of it is, I think they don't want the optics of 56,000 fans, raining down on, not, just, chanting sell the team, or, whatever it may be, just in the whole argument of like, you know, A's fans don't support. Well, what does almost 60,000 fans tell you, as we showed, with the reverse boycott, we will be there if, you commit to Oakland, you commit to payroll, et cetera, but you know how that is. So,
Well,
but,
the thing that I just love so much about everyone's effort to open Mount Davis here is it's the people putting in the work, the people who've come up with it. Stephen, just counting all those tickets,
Mhm.
keep on putting it up there. Last Dive Bar coming out with with these statements and these ideas of we're going to volunteer and clean it up, XYZ, all these people, you guys already have tickets, right? The
yeah,
idea is it's about community. It's you want, we're all going to experience this thing together, and you want to make sure that your entire family's invited.
exactly.
And it's that sort of, it's honestly, it's in some ways it's sort of selfless, right? Like it's not, you guys are going to the game no matter what, but it's saying that our community still matters in this time, in this place, especially. Um,
And if
and
there's like 8,000 more people who want to go, they should be able to go, I mean, and
yeah,
I'm
you
sure
just
there
like
is, it's just too bad. We just,
it's also it's a great troll of the A's. It's just like another way to make, the people in charge. There's, most people who are working for the A's are still as victimized as we all are. But the 5, 10 people who are making decisions, maybe the 4 or 5 people, you're just continuing to make them look like the jerks they are. And
Yep.
that, that's like, can Brian, can you tell us more about the volunteer offer and that letter that you guys sent to the A's? And obviously they haven't responded, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the volunteers are comprised of like you, me, other fans, right? People that are actually employees of the Oakland A's.
Yep.
People. I saw some stuff online about, oh, you're taking union jobs away. Well, no, we actually have union members that have jobs there that would actually volunteer free of pay to go up there and clean. So we have every type of walk of life, right? We have people comprised in the Oakland PD, everybody, because they're all fans of the A's and they all want people to have the opportunity, and as many people to have the opportunity to see that last game and to have every seat that's available opened up. And so the list is comprised of that, and we have even more. Like we could get endless amounts of people. And I mean, I just posted the pictures today that like literally were during the game of what's up there, and it's literally stuff that if you have a hand cart, a small hand jack, like you literally can move it into a corner. There's corridors that you can easily sector off, and or storage. They were active like employee type offices that you can just fill those things with what's up there, and it's literally boxes, some old concession stand supplies, seats and chairs. And then there's some railing and stuff like that, but everything that could be moved off to the side and completely tarped, fenced off. And, and so, I mean, that's what that list was about. And it's us pleading with them to like, give us the experience that we do deserve. You know what I mean? Like it's constantly the fans that are asking for the treatment from the A's that we all deserve, that we just don't receive. And we're just asking for just the slightest bit of common decency to give us at least that experience of 56,000 people for that last game. You know what I mean? And then they've known about this since 2019 that they weren't going to be in fucking Oakland, right? They were working parallel paths all the way from 2019 till now.
They didn't know till like April, right? When they announced they're going to Sacramento, like we thought
They
there was
knew,
still
yeah,
a
but the
chance
minute they
That's still
knew,
6 months, to
Yeah.
no, the
get it
minute
up.
they knew they were going to Vegas, they knew they were never going to extend this lease at the end of this year. They knew that. You know what I mean? And so they've had plenty of time to potentially look at 9/26/2024 as the last game ever in the Coliseum. They've known that for years, or had an idea that was going to potentially be the last game ever played. They've had all the time in the world to prepare to have those tarps just taken off, the area cleared away, power washed. And like we even said, you don't need concessions. You don't need bathrooms. You know what I mean? We're used to that shit not being open. It hasn't been open for years.
I think you need
know what
bathrooms. I think you need bathrooms. Yeah.
There might be like a lawsuit.
Either way,
Might be a
But I'm
lawsuit
just saying,
situation,
we're
but
giving them, no, I'm saying we're giving them every single option like possible, right? You can easily, when you put the tickets on there, you can have a disclaimer that says bathrooms are not accessible. You need to use elevators to go downstairs. And if you buy it, you're buying at your own risk. I mean, I'm just saying it's not something that would ever like
listen,
happen.
Whatever it is,
there.
Whatever it is, it's just they've opened it before for just one game or 3 games. Not that much time. They had 6 months.
Yeah, for like the playoffs.
And, you know, the explanations are like, well, you know, probably for a lot of that time, they weren't thinking about it because they were thinking about Sacramento and Las Vegas. And you know what? Fine. You're not thinking about us. We get it. We know. But at a certain point, it's been made very obvious that like they could sell those tickets and they just don't give a shit because my best guess, yes, there's insurance, there's cops, there's crowd control, there's lawsuits, whatever, of opening the shit up. But like my best guess is that at some point they have just decided that that they're not dealing with a fan base that deserves respect and empathy. They're dealing with their enemies. There's a group of executives at the A's. It's probably a small handful of people, and if you know their names, they're probably one of them, right? These are people who felt like they've been unfairly attacked and maligned, and their lives have turned upside down, and it's miserable and shit because they're just dealing with the cards that Oakland dealt them or some shit. Like that's what they feel, and they don't realize like they have agency in this. I feel so bad for him, but like also just like, dude, you're gone. You've won. You're leaving.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to deal with this anymore. You're leaving. Just like treat us with some fucking respect on the way out. There's just no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. And so whatever bad shit is talked about these people in charge of the A's, like, come on, man, you deserve it. If you're going to keep treating the fans like shit on the way out, just kicking us in the ass as you're shoving us out the door.
Yeah, the one thing they also mentioned in, I think it was that Mercury article, is that they're saying, well, that it hasn't been open in so long. Okay, well, when they did open in 2018, it was a longer time period that they hadn't opened it than it is now. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? That's just, it's everything they say is just we can easily just cast it away as just a straight up lie.
And I remember in 2018 when they first opened it up, I mean, like, I'm sure there's a lot of other things happening, but just from my one small vantage, I just remember that there was a lot of people who were working in concessions who were like working the night before to just make a shit ton of pre-rolled hot dogs, right? Because they were like, well, concessions don't work up there. So what they do, they hired people on overtime to sit there and roll pre-rolled hot dogs the night before.
Yeah.
There's like ways to fucking deal with this. Like it's not an impossibility.